episode of Overbooked and Underqualified. I'm Liv.
I'm Sam.
And we are back with what I'm calling part 2 of Alchemized,
Yeah.
our second episode. So I'm really excited to get into this one.
Oh my goodness. I ate these chapters up. The first ones were really hard because obviously they're all like, there's so much information.
Yeah.
We're finally getting into the story on this one, and oh, so good.
Yeah, this book has really surprised me. I do have a couple of intro notes. Again, just because this book is a lot different and really heavy, check the trigger warnings.
Yes, there's essay and talks of child loss in this one.
Yeah.
So if that was
self-harm,
topics,
like
yeah.
literally everything. So
Yeah.
just
Those
we
are
do
topics-
cover those things in this episode too.
Yeah.
So
If they're topics you can't handle, we'll talk to you next episode.
yeah. But yeah, I cannot put this book down. One other note I wanted to make before we move on is if you guys have Kindle Unlimited, a lot of our next TBRs are free on there. So I
Heck
texted
yeah.
Sam, I'm like, we got a good lineup, baby.
We do.
So The Last Letter's on there, both Dark Windows.
Yes.
And then there was some like other ones that I wanted
We
to
talked about.
yeah, like the Wolf King.
Yeah.
and
That
Direbound.
might be on our TBR. We'll see what we'll pick after One Dark
We'll
Window.
see. We'll see. It's very fluid. I mean,
Yes.
that's actually kind of a decent amount of ways, so we'll probably change our minds.
Probably. We'll
But
probably,
anyways-
change the genre.
Yeah. Yeah. One other thing. So, okay, now getting into this book.
Yeah.
One thing that kind of in general that I wanted to know if you noticed was the moon phases.
Yes, okay, I literally wrote that the chapters have...
I noticed.
Yes.
When did you notice that?
I put it on here. It's in one of my notes. Like,
okay.
I put it in my notes
noticed,
when I started noticing
towards
it.
the end of this section that we read.
Okay, I think I noticed it... Oh, I noticed it chapter 16, so the second chapter we read
Yeah.
in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So-
loved it.
Yeah, I love that too. And all of a sudden I'm like, wait a second, these are different. So like
Yes.
changes. But I thought that was really interesting, and yeah, I'm ready to jump in and do some discussing. This book though, like, it has really freaking surprised me. I really I didn't do a lot of research before. We kind of knew that it wasn't like romance forward or anything. So I had like maybe low expectations, but everybody had hyped it up so much that I didn't really have low expectations, but I just didn't think that I would really be as into it as I am.
Okay.
And like literally since chapter 3, like I can't stop.
I had a rougher time with probably the first episode's chapters, but I think because it was just information overload.
Yeah.
Where these ones, I was like, oh my goodness. And I think I've also just had really low expectations for books this year because we haven't read anything that's like knocked it out of the park for me. So like it was so easy for me to get through these chapters.
I have another question for you once we get to part 2.
Okay,
I'm actually going to write it down right here so I don't forget,
that is a good idea.
because I will forget. Anyways, you jump into chapter 15.
Okay, so chapter 15, it kind of starts with him doing one of the transference.
Oh, yes.
And I thought that it was so interesting that her consciousness was split between her and him when he was in her mind. Like, she could, like, sense what he was feeling and could see through his eyes while he was doing this. And that was insane to me and almost, like, really scary because this is almost... Not even almost. This is like a form of torture.
Yeah.
And you're watching yourself be tortured.
Yeah, and she's kind of, like, in this chapter, just not really resisting anymore.
Yes.
She's sort of just, like, giving up a little bit.
In the first half of, like, these chapters, you can really tell that she's getting tired and that she's kind of coming to the conclusion of, what am I trying to stay alive for? What am I pushing back for? And she's just in so much pain.
Yeah. And okay, so something I was kind of confused on to this point is she says, like, she's wondering, like, what, like you said, what is she holding on to, da-da-da-da. And Elaine Boyle comes up again, and she's like, she thought she was, like, grand self-sacrificing something for, like, and she brings up Elaine Boyle again, and,
Yeah.
like, this mystery girl. And do we know anything about her, like, prior to this chapter?
I don't think so. I think
She
there's
just
been
keeps getting
talks.
brought up?
I guess I was confused because, and this doesn't even make sense. You know that the general she saved, I'm blanking on his name.
Titus.
Titus.
Bayard.
I thought that it was Titus's wife for some reason.
Me too. Okay, so I keep getting the Bayards and the Boyles confused.
Yes. Okay, so that I'm glad that we were on the same page because I thought Elaine was his wife.
I basically just made a note to get reassurance from you that we're both confused.
No. Well, and I think that that's the whole point of chapter 1 is you're confused.
Yeah, part 1 is just Confusion Town. Because I think she's so confused.
Yes. And
like,
even
we're feeling her.
100% because she's lost. She's no idea. Her memories are gone. And even the short amount that we've gotten into part 2, I feel like there has already been so much clarity. Mm-hmm. We've learned so much.
So, yeah, I have a note when we get to there too, but it was almost like a checklist. Like, we started to get to part 2 and I was like, oh my God, check. That got solved, check. Yes. Next thing got solved, check. It was like fun. It's like almost like a game. Not like a game, but it's like you go back and you're like a game of like connecting the dots.
I think it's almost like we started on the second book and now we're reading the first.
Mm-hmm. So then his personal, like, torture gets continued. Like, she's kind of seeing him dwindle slowly over time, more and more.
I wrote that down, that he's being tortured, and every time he comes back, he's got the shadows under his eyes. He's covered in mud.
He looks like crap. He's tired. Yeah. And when she asks him, like, they're having a conversation, and she's like, who do you hate so much? Like, she doesn't understand where, like, this hateful rage comes from every now and again, because normally he's very closed off and he doesn't really say anything. So I was curious about that too, like, who is it that he's so,
why is he so pissed?
Yeah,
because if you're looking at it from her perspective, he is a higher rank in the necromancers, vivimancers, like, he's high up. They've won the war. Mm-hmm. Why isn't he happy?
Yeah, and he says many people, most of whom are dead now. And so I'm just curious, like, we just still need more backstory on that. And then they're having this, like, party.
Yes.
At the Farron household. And they're talking about this mystery revenge killer.
Yes.
And he's recreating the Boyles deaths, or like a lot of the resistance deaths. Mm-hmm. And so I thought that was really interesting. I love that she was eavesdropping at that party, because I was like, also felt like I was listening in.
This party was disgusting.
It was horrible.
I have really struggled with this chapter. And then Farron, this was a little bit before the party started.
Yep.
So when he was talking to Helena, and he's like, I wonder who's responsible for more resistant deaths.
Yeah.
So the Holdfasts or me. And again, like, I feel like we got more clarity later in the chapter, but I was struggling with, are we on the right side?
No, like, I genuinely think, like, both sides are, like,
not
kind
great.
of shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that the, what are we calling it? The guilds, like...
I would say guilds,
yeah. I think that they are more, like, upfront with their shittiness. And, like, that's a clear, like, wow, they're evil. But then this other side is kind of like, you think that they should be good, but then they keep doing stuff and you're like,
I was also struggling because, again, I don't think that Farron's on the right side. I don't think there's necessarily a right side currently.
Yeah.
But at least, like you said, they're upfront with it. And part of me is like, they didn't kill alchemists that were on their side. And they're okay with you being alchemists. They just killed the resistance. And the resistance is like, if you have vivimancy, necromancy, all this stuff, like, fuck you. Mm-hmm. So I'm struggling with the who's the good guys.
Like I said, I think we need to wipe them out, start a new reform. But yeah, like, we really don't know almost, like, who to root for sometimes. Yes. Or, like, when he says things like that, you're like, well, maybe you're right.
Yeah,
like,
you're seeming kind of evil. But also, are the Holdfasts any better?
Yeah. And we don't know a lot about them either. Like, we really don't. We know more about, like, what's happening to her from their side.
Exactly.
Which sucks. Oh. But anyways, and then it ends with
I have so much more on this chapter.
Okay.
Like, The rest of this.
Dude, I took such in-depth notes last time that I'm like trying not to
I'm sorry.
be too. But no, I love this from you. Continue.
So then we're going back to the party now, and Vidkun, he's one of the party goers.
Yeah. The mystery revenge.
Yeah,
guy.
so this is the guy that got killed, and he was killed after like bricking himself in his house with the Necrothals.
Mm-hmm.
Part of me was like, do we think that the Necrothals killed him?
Mm-hmm.
But that was crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were talking about this horrible breeding program, and him saying she was very cooperative after I broke her jaw.
Oh, I know. They're talking about like how they just get free range for this experimental program, but they basically just get to go in and rape whoever they
Yep.
want and like say that they're doing their duty and donating and helping the cause.
Yep, and they get to pick who they're doing this to, and they can go from room to room if they want.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
It's horrible.
And then whoever killed the last Undying must have seen them make the Necrothal eat his wife.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to think about who from the Resistance was there.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody.
I keep going
to
back
guess
to Soren.
Well, yeah, I was wondering with him too. Like, I don't know. I feel like with what we've learned about him in part 2, he's just sort of like
I've got comments on him.
he's the kind of like keeps coming up, but he's unknown.
I know.
Like she talks about Luke and Lila, and like they're good, and she loves
Yeah.
them. But Soren's kind of just there.
Okay, I agree.
You know.
Did you
So
have any more
that's a
notes
fair-
on this chapter?
No. Just that.
You don't have any notes on Lancaster.
I mean, it was a attempted rape by Lancaster.
Oh.
Yeah,
Him-
it was horrible.
Yeah, he pinned her down, and then he was like, he put something in her neck.
Yeah, he injected her neck.
Yes.
And dragged her off.
Yeah. And then they got to the gates, and he was getting ready to unlock it, and of course...
So wait. Chapter 6, that we jumped to chapter
Okay,
16.
okay,
So that's
okay.
why I didn't have any notes
Yes,
on that. So it was
okay.
injection, then we jumped to chapter 16.
Okay, I do have more notes. Why the fuck is he biting her?
That's my first note, is what's with the biting? Like, they're not fae, like...
To the point of bleeding, he is biting her.
And we're seeing this all through her drugged state.
Oh,
It's
I was
horrible. Yeah.
What?
And then, yeah, they get to the gate.
Yeah.
And he's just like saying all these horrible things like, I can't wait to turn you inside out. And
I know I have
then
that note.
Farron saves her and pulls out his organs.
And then he's like twisting them. And then he lets him go, and Lancaster is described as limping away, trying to push his organs back into his body.
Yeah. I'm wondering why he didn't just kill him right then and there.
I don't know.
But I think he has this like image to uphold.
I agree.
So yeah, that was absolutely terrible.
And then we got kind of like a... It's not wholesome because it's not. She finally got the words out that she was continuously trying to say to Lancaster, and it was, Farron always comes for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like trying to like pick up the like hee-hees, but it still doesn't feel very hee-hee.
Okay, so yeah, I feel like last time I was very much in the every little thing was a hee-hee, and you're like, dude, he's kind of like sucks. He's actually horrible. And I'm like, yeah, but like he was kind of nice after he was a total asshole though. I'm totally in these scenes, I'm like, oh, he healed her. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Like he was nice, kind of. Like,
and then I did write that Farron cleans her wounds.
I just felt like, I feel like throughout this whole part 1, like there's just more to him. Like I just feel like he's trying to put like, this asshole side of him seems like a facade to me.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like when he, you know, is saving her from different situations like this, it's so real.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's why I feel like this is like his real side. And like when she's freaking out because the Necrothal is like touching her or whatever, and he's like, stop.
Mm-hmm.
And then he does it. Like, I don't know. I just feel like there's gotta be something more there.
I agree. I'm just struggling because everything is so graphic, and it doesn't feel like cutesy.
It's very fair. Yeah, and that's why I don't know why I'm not like it is not my personality to not have a hard time with this.
Yeah, I know.
Like I'm not bothered by any of it. I'm like, what's wrong with me? Because normally, like, I don't do scary movies.
No.
I hate zombies, like anything medical, and
I think it's because you're picturing everything like cartoony.
I think I am too. Like, but I understand like the rape scene. Like,
they're
I'm not dismissing that
No.
any of this is. But yeah, I don't know. It's odd, but yeah.
So then we're jumping to. We get some more backstories on Aurelia.
Aurelia. Yeah. I don't know how to say her name.
Her parents are cousins.
Yeah.
That really upset me.
She has this. So we learn a little bit more about her backstory because we have this scary moment. She comes in shaking, and she's just like evilly like telling her horrible backstory
to Helena, and Farron is gone at this point.
Yeah, he's left
in the city, and Aurelia is telling like her all of these horrible things. So her mom and dad got married, they're cousins, because they wanted to produce like the perfect heir, because they knew that the Farron son would need somebody to marry, and they needed to be an iron alchemist.
Yeah, I mean, they're technically just have iron resonance.
Resonance. Okay, yes. And so 2 of their daughters did not make it. And they burned their ashes and planted a garden.
Well, didn't she like abort them because they did like an ultrasound basically, and they didn't have
super small,
and they didn't have like the right power or something.
So her dad made her mom abort them, and they burned them, and she put the ashes in this garden, and her talking about how her mom was always out there, and then this line did me in. The first 2 were hers. She's talking about her mom.
Yeah.
And I was Cain's. From the moment she was born, her only purpose was to marry Cain.
I literally I said, kind of fair reasons to be cray, but she's still horrible.
Oh, 100%.
But, like, we understand why she, like, sucks so bad.
Yeah, because her backstory is horrible. And she was kind of talking about how at first she was like, at least, like, my husband will love me, and she's not getting that. Also, the fact that he didn't live there until Helena moved in, horrible for her. Love that for Helena.
I know. It's like, I don't know. And then, we get this, like, I don't know, kind of all these hot, cold moments from him. So it's really hard to, like, now we're getting some more information or whatever. And she's just, like, so jealous of Helena.
Yes.
Like, so jealous because she's like, I've been a perfect wife. And she's, like, manic right now.
And she's also talking about how, like, finally someone was showing up for her and wanting interest, and it was Lancaster. And she's like, I finally had someone who cared about me, just to find out that he was also here for fucking you.
Yeah.
And she's tweaking.
Like, tweaking.
Like, mad tweaking.
Yeah. And like, honestly, how he had a reaction to Lancaster, and she was, like, upset by that.
She thought that the reason he killed Lancaster was because of her.
Yikes.
And honestly,
so then,
I get it. Crash out, girlfriend.
Yeah.
Crash
She is. She's like, I don't even care if I die. I just want frickin' revenge on you. And Sam and I do not text about the book normally, unless it's like, what page are you reading to? After this eye scene, I sent Sam a little gif of like, I could not watch this. Like,
it was
I said,
horrible.
Got to that scene. Because I think I knew you had read. And it was horrible. She grows these things, like, long iron nails, basically, and rips her freaking eyeball, basically, out. Like,
but also, while this is happening, the Necrothals are banging on the door and speaking in unison. Can you imagine how scary that noise is?
Dude, anything speaking in unison, count me out. Like,
pounding on the door, saying her name. And again, she also crashes out about this because she's like, didn't know that they could do that, pulling all the tricks out for you, Helena.
Yeah, and she's still just like,
scooping her eye out. Scooping.
Dude, anything with eyes, like,
What is it?
count
Is it
me
because you
out.
can see it like directly coming
Count me
in?
out. And,
Same.
And anything speaking in unison, also scarier than, like, anything.
Especially when they're zombies.
Like,
And they're
I'm
not
done.
supposed to talk.
This scene, I was like this.
No, this scene was horrible. This was
My-
a blanket right up to under
My
your
eye
eyes.
was literally hurting.
like aching. So then she like pops her eye out and the entire house like basically explodes.
It comes alive, like,
And like breaks Aurealia's body.
so I'm assuming she's dead at this
I
point. Like,
literally wrote, "Oh my god, she's dead."
and then the chapter ends, and we get to 17, chapter 17, and he comes in. She doesn't really know, like, how long it took him to get there,
Yeah.
but
And
she
she
said
also-
it felt like an eternity, but I don't think it was that long.
And she's also talking about like he has to be close if he's controlling the iron in the house.
Mm-hmm.
But he was in the city, and that's like a couple hours, I would assume.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's very confusing to both of them. Like, so he comes in and he's like panicked. This is like the most emotion like we've ever really seen from him outside of anger, and he's like panicking. Like his voice is hoarse. He's shaking. Like
Yes. Oh!
he's trying to heal her, and he's like, you know how to do it. Like, you have to tell me how to fix your eye. Like, your
Yes.
eye is hanging out. Like, tell me how
Also,
to fucking fix it.
I don't know about you, but I was picturing her eye hanging like a
Same. No,
grandfather
literally.
clock pendulum, just going like,
Okay,
Ah!
well, it wasn't moving for me, but it was hanging.
well, if he's picking her up, it's swishing around.
And he heals it with her. Like, she's
Yes.
like panicking.
Trying to explain
And he's like
it.
calming her down, which can you imagine? I'd be like, oh my god, my eyes! Oh god, just kill me.
I would be passed out. I would not be awake.
So it's kind of cool though how they fixed it, because
Yes.
he basically like, she showed him
And she's talking about how this is really
through like
hard
her power.
healing.
Yeah.
Because it's not just like really easy stuff. Like you have to repair the tissue like
Layer by
cell
layer.
by cell.
Yeah.
And it's super specific. So it's crazy. And then he has to pop the eye back in, and they described it as a nauseating pop.
And then it kind of rolls back and comes back, and it's still fucked up. Like, she's panicking because she cannot see. And he's like, you need to just, like, calm
And
down.
then he had to go in with his resonance and fix her, like, orbital socket. It was disgusting. And then he sets her down to go fix Aurelia. Aurelia is not dead.
No, well, I don't even know
Or
if he, like,
was
kind
she
of brought
dead?
her back to life. I don't know. It was unclear.
Well,
but yeah.
I literally, look, capitals, isn't dead.
He's, like, cracking limbs back.
Yes.
He's like, hang on, hell. Click, 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 putting her back together. And I was like, I said, wonder why he, like, brought her back.
I feel like there would have been repercussions if he didn't, because obviously someone set this marriage up, and I feel like there would have been repercussions on if he had killed her
Like, it
over
would
a
have been-
prisoner.
It would have been, like, more time than it was worth, kind of thing. Or, like,
Probably.
more of a pain in the ass.
He definitely puts her in her place after
Yeah,
this.
he
so-
does, as she should. Yeah, and then her, like, the three of them are sort of, like, having a conversation about how he controlled the house from that far
Yes.
away. Like,
And-
Aurelia is like, how the fuck did you do that?
Yes, and Helena kind of gives backstory, a thought process, that the farther away an alchemist is from the metal, the harder it is, and if they start to concentrate too much, they almost, like, disintegrate.
Yeah, like, she's like, he should be dead.
Dead.
So I'm very curious about that. I will say I have no prediction. Like, I don't know.
Well,
I literally don't
we
know.
keep coming back to this. This is the first time that it's, like, really mentioned, but Bennett doing experiments on him.
Mm-hmm.
Do we think that he's, like, actually undead, or do we think that he's just, like, a crazy-ass experiment?
I think he's a crazy ass experiment. I think he's
I do
something
too.
else.
I don't think that he's, like, an undying.
But he is still sort of like connected to Morrow, though.
I agree.
So like, there's something there. I think he might be undying, but like
Extra.
other, yeah.
Like, he became undying, and then the experiments made him more.
Yes.
Okay.
And then it's like I'm all confused because I'm like, holy crap! Like he obviously still cares about her. Like again, we're getting this like hot cold whatever, sometimes he's evil,
Yeah.
sometimes he's not. And then he says to Aurelia, like, the reason why he freaked out was because, like, nerves are connected to the brain
brain.
and whatever. And I'm like, seems like it's more than that,
Which
bud.
is honestly very solid excuse.
It is. I was like, oh yeah, that's
Way
kind
to
of a
think
good
on
point.
your feet.
Yeah, I know.
There's more.
Yeah.
There's more here. Because he was, like, panicked. And I feel like if he was just like, I really don't want to lose her because she's important to, like, the cause, I feel like he would have been a lot more controlled almost. Because he seemed very emotional when he got there.
Yeah.
And also using the Necrothals to, like, bang on the door and all that just also felt really over the top. Because he was already on his way back.
Yeah.
This is so upsetting.
So then, before we get to that part, he talks about how, so, like, a doctor comes in, checks on her eye,
Yes.
whatever, and then they're both like, he's like, oh, you should work in the hospital, and he's like, do you think they'd hired me after I murdered someone in the hospital? And we find out that it was Eric, like, he murdered Eric in the hospital, so I'm like,
Lancaster, Eric, same person.
what the fuck happened there?
Yeah. And then he gutted him again in the waiting room.
And then, what's her nuts, Stroud comes
Stroud.
back in, and she finds out that she's getting enrolled in the program.
Yep. That Stroud made her able to have children again. I literally put, I don't think Stroud is good anymore.
Oh, and you know what? Sorry, I missed this note. In chapter 15, she gets her period, and she thinks nothing of it.
I quite literally wrote, oh my God, she got her period. Liv, you were right. And then I said NVM. Because she did say that she was still capable of getting her period.
Yeah,
They
but I
just
was
removed-
like, what the fuck?
I
No,
also
no, no,
was
no, no.
tweaking. I was tweaking.
And then she comes in, and she, like, just drops this bomb. Like, it's nothing.
Yep.
And, she's just horrible about it.
Yeah, she's a B word. A big old bitch.
I think your theory may be wrong about Stroud being on the right side.
I did right. I don't think Stroud is good anymore. Yep. We're retracting that. First prediction, wrong. We need a tally board.
I think you're on the right track with Farron, though, so that's something. And they find out that Farron's first on the list to donate. Basically have sex with her.
Yep.
And
Well,
get her
not have
pregnant.
sex with her. Sexually assault her.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we did find out that his mom was an animancer in this chapter.
Yeah.
Which I thought was very interesting. But yeah, 2 months to get her pregnant. And then, guys, so my child had woken me up early that day. So I read a couple chapters in the morning. That's where I had to stop before I went to work for 8 hours. I was very upset. That's when I texted you and said, I should have called in.
Yeah, and I just felt like I had been sort of, like, worrying about this and expecting it. And now it's actually happening in this part, and I was like, oh my God, like, I just really felt all of her, like...
Emotions.
Well, just, like, all of her thought processes, because she's like...
She's been scared of this since day one.
Well, she's like, what could be, like, what's worse? Like, I either get raped by, like, someone that it's decent, or, like, if it doesn't stick, like, I have to go to somewhere, like...
Somewhere where they won't
There's
abuse me on top of sexually assaulting
Yeah,
me.
there's no good option. So then
No.
we get to chapter 18.
This pissed me off so bad. So she's in shock, and Stroud goes, what's wrong?
Yeah.
Why are you upset?
She's like, I don't understand what your problem is. And then on 237, she said, you're having me raped and expect me to be grateful about it.
Yeah.
Like, because Stroud's like, well, I thought that you like having a break from this transmutance and or transference, I mean.
Yeah.
Like,
What the fuck? Let's replace one trauma with another. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful.
And then she starts, like, threatening her with the
Yes.
other men. Like,
But once you get to Central, I'll make sure you get the worst of it, essentially.
yeah, like, I get to choose who
Yep.
comes in and da-da-da-da-da. And...
Because then she's talking about how she doesn't think that Farron will be able to impregnate her. Granted, she doesn't know that he's not having sex with Aurelia. So, but she says, everything Bennett has done to him, he is barely human.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so curious about what Bennett was doing to him.
Mm-hmm.
Then, yeah,
And then it's interesting because she feels, like, oddly safe with Farron. Like, she feels, like, she keeps feeling like...
I feel like she feels safe, I feel like it's a lesser of two evils for her.
Yeah, like, well, she said in this chapter, like, I feel oddly safe with him or
Yeah.
whatever. And then when she has this, like, laughing fit,
Yes.
she has, like, this laughing fit that just turns hysterical.
Which,
And it made me, like, kind of laugh in the moment because she just, like, he just stands there the whole time and then he's like, do you feel better? And she's like, no. I feel like fucking shit.
this is actually horrible, but thank you.
Yeah.
And then this is where we find out that he is the High Necromancer's successor. So he's next in line. And that's another thing where I was like, why aren't you happier? You're second in line to be ruler of the world.
Yeah, he's just not happy with his, like, where he's at. And he's getting tortured 24/7. Like, I don't think that he's, like, really on that side.
I don't either.
And they're both upset, like, about this. You could tell Kane's not, like, he's pissed. He does not want to do this. Like, he's, I feel like, just as much of a victim in this situation, too. Like, his hands, like, were spasming, and then he put them behind his back, and she's like, oh my gosh, like, I know that trick. Like, that's her tell.
Yes.
And so it's just sad that they're both, like, being forced into this.
Well, so the first time happens, and he pukes after.
Like, violently pukes.
Vomiting, and he walked out of the room without, and he told her when this was happening, like, close your eyes, and it was very quick. There was nothing extra, and him, like, I literally wrote, fuck, him puking. Like, he does not want to be doing this any more than she does.
And she's like, so 2-3 days. Well, okay, so one thing too is we also find out that him being High Reeve is public now.
Yes.
It's public news. So I thought, okay, that must mean something. And then 2 to 3 days pass, and she's, like, losing it in these 2 to 3 days. Like, can you imagine just waiting, basically, to get raped? Like,
no.
And just trying to find anything to kill yourself and, like, get out of the situation. And then the scene comes, and she's, like, begs him to kill her. And he actually considers it.
He thinks about it.
He, like, considers mercy killing her instead of putting her through this.
Well, and I think it's also would be a mercy killing for him because he also does not want to be involved in this. It's insane. It is insane.
And she just she disassociates. They're both having a horrible time.
And then,
it's horrible.
It is. It's disgusting.
And then we move to chapter 19.
Yeah, and this is, like, you can tell that, like, she was already depressed. But her just saying that she was trapped forever in winter. I feel like that is such a good way to describe depression.
It is. And then when she tries to go outside and she put the world, it was springtime, was beautiful, and it felt like betrayal.
Yep.
Like, she's like, this feels like,
and like
how can life just be continuing to move on and be beautiful when, like, I'm going through this horrible thing?
I'm, like, at the top end of suffering. And I also, like, was thinking about it, as a healer, she obviously is, like, super connected to nature. That probably also feels like such a betrayal, that nature is coming back and it's thriving and doing so well, and she's withering away. And it makes me go back to the scene where when she was looking at herself in the mirror, and she's like, I look healthy, and I've never felt so dead.
Yeah.
Just,
And then, so Stroud comes back in. This bitch calls her high-strung.
Yeah, because she didn't have a good time when she got
goes,
sexually assaulted.
So how was it?
Yeah.
And she's like, it was horrible. And she goes, oh, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. You're so fucking high-strung.
Yep. And then she uses her resonance to go into her body to adjust her pelvis.
Yeah, so she basically makes her horny.
Yep. She gives her one of those pills that Farron gave her, and it sounds like when you're using your resonance on them that you can decide what it's doing. Yep. To make her horny.
But she, like, doesn't feel that in her mind.
No,
so
just
she's like,
her
body's,
body.
like, betraying her thoughts.
And can you imagine? And then she also uses her resonance to trap her on the bed, like, on her back with her legs open, and she can't move.
She paralyzes her, yeah.
And she's, like, her body's feeling super, like, turned on, and her mind is, like, freaking out.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
The scene is horrible.
And we find out here too, he put something under his tongue. Like, he's like trying to, like,
he took a pill too. I think
he's like drugging himself to get through this.
I think he took the pill the same way that she did to, like, get rid of her emotions, like, that he gave her.
Yeah. And then he realizes that, like, she's in this paralysis.
Like, she, like looks at him with, like, begging eyes.
He figures out, like, something's wrong, and he takes away that part at least. but he can't take away, like, the pill that she already took.
Yeah, and she asks, can we just wait until after the pill wears off? And he has to go into the city, so he's like, no.
So they just have to, like, push through
Yeah.
and do it.
It's horrible.
And it's horrible. And again, he's, like, sick, pale after. She's filled with all the shame. She's like, I'm never going to be, like,
You also find out that
okay
she's
again.
never had sex before.
Yeah.
Not that this is sex, but this is the first time she's ever had this happen to her. Yeah, she's never had sex before.
I mean, after how far we've read, this would be her first, like she hasn't been kissed before.
Yeah, this was her first, yeah. Yep.
Like,
Yep.
like, it's so bad. So anyways, yeah, that's second time is over. We still have one left because they have to do it 3 times. But then on 252, there was all this talk about Hevgas. That, like, whatever.
Let me see the
neighboring country.
Oh, yeah. I struggled with reading this part.
Do you think that means something? Like, do you think Hevgas is more of a bigger thing? Because it said the Eternal Flame had suspected from the beginning that Moro was being used by Hevgas, but it seemed something, possibly Helena, had soured that relationship.
I think that it's going to come into play more in part 2, because Moro isn't, like, he's there, but we still haven't gotten a lot of information on him in part 2. I do think it's probably going to come into play.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if it didn't, because why go into all this detail about it if it's not important?
Yeah, I was just really interested in that whole thing. I don't know. And then she's just, like, continuously trying to figure out Farron's motives. Like, she's like, I know Moro's motives, I know Stroud's motives, like, I know everybody's motives. I can't figure out Farron. Like, what does, like, he almost mercy killed me, but then he reconsidered and didn't.
He just quite literally does not make any sense in this side of the book. Because, like you said, you kind of predicted, you're like, I think they knew each other before, maybe she's been in this house before, but nothing's confirmed for us. And he hates Luke. Hates him.
Yeah.
So we have no idea what's going on. Like, what are you wanting? You don't like your wife. You don't like your boss.
You're hot cold to her.
You don't seem like, you like Helena.
Like, you're super nice to her, and then you're, like, horrible next.
You hate your dad.
Yeah.
There's just there's nothing aligning in this book currently.
So then we have the scene 3. It's the same thing. Like, just quick, whatever. And it was so sad, because at the bottom of 253, she says, but she was so tired of being hurt, so she didn't move.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so...
It's horrible.
Horrible.
This whole entire part 1 is probably one of the heavier books I've read. I feel like the only thing that compares to it for me is Plated Prisoner. But there was a lot of, like, banter and love in between all of the heavy scenes in Plated Prisoner, where this one, it's just like, bonk, 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 bonk. Like, it's just...
piling up.
It's a 7-layered cake.
For real. So then we figure out that when the moon's in full ascendance, they call it ascendance, basically alchemists get moon drunk.
Yeah.
Like,
I was so confused.
Like, basically, whenever the moon is at this thing, like, one time a year, they get literally, like, intoxicated by it.
Power, essentially.
Yes.
And people who have really low resonance, this is the only time where they can use their powers. But then people who have access to their powers all year are like, whoa.
What's happening?
Yeah.
Yeah, so her food doesn't come, and she's like, that's really weird. That's literally never happened. She's like searching around the house for him, and then she opens the door and finds him, and he says, Helena. And she's like, what the hell? Like, I haven't heard my name in so long.
He only calls me the prisoner, or he doesn't talk about me. She also thought that he was dead when he was running around, because that's the only... I thought this was really interesting. Once you kill the person who made the Necrothals, all the Necrothals die.
Yep.
So if they didn't bring their food, then he must be dead. So she's running around the house, basically seeing if there's an open door so she can escape. And she, stumbles into his room. And he's drunk.
Like, intoxicated by the moon and alcohol.
There is amber liquid on his desk.
Yes. I wonder what that could be. And basically it just like he kisses her.
Well, he says, "You will be the death of me," essentially. And then he quite literally rips her dress in half.
Yep.
And they're like macking it.
Wait, that comes at the next chapter.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
So,
See, I get too excited.
This one, it says, if I'd known what pain you'd cause me,
Yes.
I would have never taken you. And then he says, but at this point, I suppose I deserve to burn. I wonder if you'll burn too. And then they kiss.
They kiss.
They kiss.
They kiss.
And then chapter 20, Miss Excited Lady.
I did get excited. Okay, I'm sorry. I need a glimmer of hope.
So this is like a super heated kiss. Like,
Yeah,
it's
like-
not a little moocha.
No.
Oopsie's made a mistake.
This
Now
is
yes.
sucking face rips her dress to
There you go.
shreds.
Yes.
What causes them to pull apart, or did she?
She
just
moaned. And then he's
Oh.
like, oh shit, what are we doing? And she's
Yeah.
like, oh my god, what are we doing? She runs away.
I'm like, also, I really didn't like the scene after this when it was done, and she was like trying to like hold her two parts of her dress together. I didn't like that. It made me very uncomfortable and very sad. It just,
Why?
I don't know, because she feels so much
Shame. Yeah.
And because she literally, when she gets back to her room, sobbing, and she apologizes to Luke. And it just like,
I took that. So how did you take that apology?
in what kind of sense of like what their relationship was?
Or at least like how'd you take it when she said, I'm so sorry, Luke, or whatever?
I think there's a level of betrayal because, and we're going to get to this, I think that they loved each other.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there was other things keeping them apart. And I think that it felt like she was going against the resistance, obviously. Those were my two things about it. That's how I felt her apology.
I took her apology as like, I'm gonna try to kill myself. I'm sorry, Luke. Like, I can't stay here anymore.
Okay. I took
so
it as
funny.
a sorry for disrespecting our relationship and our stance.
Yeah, I didn't take it as anything to do with relationship-wise, because then right after that, she bangs her head over and over and over against the window.
Yeah, and then Farron, so mean, because he rescues her, stitches her back together, and then she, like, they have this, like, long conversation about her, like, feeling needed and all this stuff. And then he says, nobody needs you and nobody wants you.
When did he say that? I don't remember.
After they were, like, in the room together, after he, like, got her taken back care of.
Oh, cause she said, I would rather spend the rest of my life being raped in Central than spend a minute of it having feelings for you.
Yes.
And he got, like...
He got pissed.
He was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then was a total dick back to her.
Mm-hmm. And I also, under that, I said, you just kissed her. You're lying. Like, you turd.
Yeah, and it's so confusing because, like, she's banging her head against the window and he's like, what are you doing? Like, why the sudden need to go so far?
Yeah.
Like, it's just, like, so back and forth. Like,
The
I don't
caring
know.
and not caring.
Yeah.
And then I did, like, a note, and I said, I need more Luke. Was he bad? Like, because Farron's talking about how, like, they used her, and she was essentially just a pawn.
Like, we
nobody
know
cared about.
nothing.
No. So I was like, is he bad?
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
What is going on?
Because we're getting, like, her putting him on a pedestal and him
Yes.
saying, like...
He's garbage. Also, where's his body? I need to know now.
I know. I've been panicking since, like...
Since that one lady said, did they know what we did
No,
with him?
I was thinking about it before that, even when they were, like, when we found out that they could, about, like, the liches. Because I'm like, oh my god, we're getting all these other like... What?
Where is he?
When they were talking about, like, oh, the one got stripped into ribbons and then they had to eat him, and, like, I'm like,
I
okay,
think
if
that
they
is-
did that to just regular ass...
I think his body is still intact somewhere and is being used in a very, very...
horrible way.
Yes.
I'm scared
I'm
also.
also scared.
Okay, so then my next note, 261.
Sorry, I skipped ahead a little.
No, you didn't. There was like, do you remember when this sketchy lich maid comes in
Yes, and he was
she's
not a lich. I literally have that in my notes. I don't think that she's a Necrothal. I think she's a Lich.
I do too. Because it's, remember, okay, so she's like watching her and she's like, makes a comment in her head and goes, wow, she's acting more like a Lich than Necrothal. And then all of a sudden, the maid like notices her watching. And like slows her movements and acts. So I'm like,
Yes.
what is going on there?
I don't even know if she's a Lich. I think that she might be a regular person. And what if she's a Resistance member? Because again, I don't think that Farron. I don't know where Farron stands. I don't
either.
Farron,
I honestly still
I don't think Farron is for either.
I don't think so either.
So I'm kind of wondering if maybe it's a Resistance person, because this Lich, Necrothal, something in the middle, seems to be very caring for her. And that appears in later chapters.
Which would be, technically, if she was if she was a real Necrothal, that would be fair and, like, caring, you know what I mean?
Yes.
But, yeah, it seems like
She talks about how she's almost, like, motherly.
Yeah, like, trying to, later.
Yeah, later.
But, yeah, so I was wondering if you caught on to that, too.
I 100% caught on to that.
It was on 261. She was so freaking weird.
Yes, I did not like it. It made me feel really icky. It reminded you never mind. You never watched it. I'm not bringing it up. I didn't like it. So then Stroud comes back.
Yes.
Do you have any notes before this?
I don't even know. They're just kind of back and forth, with this kind of like she's mean to him about stuff, and then he's mean. And again, he's talking more about like resistance and how they kind of were whatever, like the Eternal Flame's lonely little healer with no one left to save and whatever. Like we had that conversation. So I don't know. That was just interesting, but again, possibly truthful. I don't know. But yeah, I also put can't tell if Luke is good. Like, I don't know. I think
I know what my stance is on them now, and we'll talk about that in later chapters.
Part 2, yeah. And I just put, why is Farron pushing her away if he clearly, like, cares? I just feel like there's so much more here. Like, what is his reasons then? Like, is it because his memory gets sifted through, and he kind of has to show that he's being a total asshole to, like, protect her, or...
But also part of me is, like, you know your memories get sifted through. I feel like a lot of the stuff he's already done has condemned him in a sense, if that makes sense. So I don't know, but I understand that thought process as well, though. Like, he needs to put on a show.
Yeah, like for her own good kind of thing.
Yeah, because it seems like he goes back to the High Necromancer every day and gets
tortured.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was just a thought, and then lo and behold,
Stroud comes back. It does a weird ultrasound on her with her resonance, and she is pregnant.
And she just says, "Oh, you're pregnant."
Yep. So nonchalant.
And she freaks out. Like, Helena
screaming.
Freaks out. And, like, this scene was just so, like...
It was very, like...
I felt it in my bones.
Yes.
She's going, no. And then, she's freaking out so bad that, Stroud is, like, also starting to panic.
Like, shocked.
She never panics. And then slaps her, and it just continues.
Yep.
Like...
And then Farron comes in, and it's like, you need to calm down, And then he reads Stroud to filth.
He knows how to put someone in their place.
Yes, he literally was like, you know she's prone to fits, which she is.
Yeah.
Which also, very fair that you're prone to fits, girlie.
It's fine.
It's fine. And he is like, you like torturing her.
Yeah, like,
why are you doing this?
He totally calls her out.
Yes, like, he read her line for line, like, knew exactly what she was doing.
And just, like, literally, like, again and again and again, like, verbally just puts her where she belongs.
And then we learn that Stroud is torturing her and being a dick because she knows that she killed Bennett. That she leveled the experimental building.
Yep.
And that she deserves to be treated like this. And then Farron is like, you should be thanking her because you'd be nothing without her. You're just lucky that you were outside the building when it exploded.
Yeah.
That's the only reason you're important anymore.
Yeah, and basically call her like a glorified assistant.
Yes.
Like, it was, I put clapping.
Yeah.
I was literally like, get it.
Yes, and talking about how Stroud's trials, all it is fluff. There's no evidence behind it that it's actually working. There's nothing good about it, and that she better figure that out because he's going to call her out if she doesn't in front
And he
of the high
literally
necromancer.
says, like, I looked into this.
Yeah.
Which just further proves, too, that he was, like, so pissed about having to get put into this situation that he's like,
Is
I'm
this
gonna,
working?
like, yeah, like, I'm actually gonna, like,
do the research.
yeah, and, like, put you in your place.
And you know that he's smart, too, because him and Helena competed academically.
Yeah.
So, like...
And we can see that she is very smart.
100%.
And again, like, now he's protective as fuck. Like, he's caring about her. And what's interesting is, like, every time she has these moments or whatever, he's, like, the only one that's ever able to, like, pull her out of it by knowing, like, exactly what she needs.
I agree.
And how to talk to her. And how to...
Yeah. And then at the end of this, which also, like, made me, like, soften a little bit more, is, like, he says, I'm so sorry. And, like,
And he puts her to sleep.
Yes. And it just confirms the fact of, like, he didn't want this just as much as she didn't want this. It's very, very upsetting. It's so upsetting. Ugh.
It's horrible.
I don't have anything left on chapter 20.
Yeah, I said moment to process this. Wow, how scary and horrible. And, like,
Yeah.
again, what's the lesser evil of choices?
Yeah.
Because if she, like, wasn't pregnant, then what? Like, she goes back and gets raped by other people and then has an even worse, like, go.
Someone's gonna break her jaw so she stops screaming.
Yeah, like, but she also is, like, now scared for this baby
Yeah.
and what's gonna happen and whatever. We'll kind of go into
Horrible.
that. But, yeah, so then chapter 21, she's basically being monitored full-time now, and she's thrown into this, like, heavy depression. Like,
Yes.
I would say before... she was, like, mildly...
It was, like, relative. It was almost like a seasonal depression.
Now she's,
This is, like...
not getting out of bed.
Not eating.
She's just done.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
And he gives her a book,
Yes.
like, on the pregnancy and stuff. And, again, like, he knows her so well. Like, he's like, I know you're gonna drive yourself crazy if you don't know everything about this, so here's whatever. And it becomes, like, her, like...
safety object.
precious,
almost.
like, thing.
Yes. And she talks about, too, how it's not like a how to care for your baby 101. It's like an actual medical textbook.
Yeah, like,
which,
not
again,
some...
like, it shows that he's actually, like, thinking about who she is. And not just like a, how to breastfeed your baby. It's like a, this is actually how a boob works.
yeah, for sure.
And then, so he comes in and he's like, are you eating? Are you going outside and exercising? And she half lies. She's trying to be truthful while also lying. And then he makes her go outside, and when he comes to get her, he's like, you can't bring your book. And she's like, clutching it. And I also just, like, it just makes me laugh because I'm thinking of, like, a child parent almost, and him being like, no one's gonna steal your book.
Yeah, like, come on.
And if they do, I'll just buy you a new one. It's fine.
I know, like, I don't know. I just have this, like, I don't know, I like him. Like, I know he's being, like, an asshole and stuff, but I just, like, I really like him. And I like their, like, when they do have these banter moments, like, outside of how horrible this, like, everything is. I don't know, it just seems like I like these, like, moments.
I agree. I like him as the MMC, but the book is heavy.
Yeah, for sure. And then she, like, basically, so she gets forced outside, and she begs him not to let anything to hurt the baby. Like, she's like, this is half of your baby, too, like, whatever. And then he says, like, I promise nobody's gonna hurt your baby. And she takes that as, like, an empty promise and then gets pissed and is like, leave me alone.
I thought that it was really interesting when he said, no one's gonna hurt
your baby.
Not our baby, not the baby, your baby. I thought that was very telling about how he, again, feels about this.
When I think that he's trying to give her, like, you're in control. Like, I'm not gonna take your baby and do, like, scary things to it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Which
I took that as, like, because, I don't know.
I took it as a removing himself, but not necessarily an empty promise.
Yeah. I don't know. It was just kind of a weird scene.
I agree.
I don't know. I feel like there's more to it, but we'll see.
100%.
And then we find out that Stroud says the baby, like, she's not eating, she's miserable. Stroud says the baby animancy, like, if the baby has that, could be killing her.
Yes.
And we find out that basically she's expected to die at birth anyway. And that, like, all these hormones, everything she's going through, the memory should resurface anyway. So Stroud's, like, talking about her, and it was basically like, with any luck, we'll get the baby and her memories, and she'll just die from this, so it'll be perfect.
And they talk about, too, how Farron's dad, what is it, Artis?
Atreus.
Is the, like, who Farron should be going to, because Farron's an animancer. So he is, like, the expert around here because his mom gave birth to an animancer, and it's kind of giving Twilight. The baby's draining said mother, and mother's gonna die.
I don't like relating it to that. That was
CGI baby.
Yeah, stop. Stop it right there. I will have night. See, everything in this book's fine. You bring up fucking CGI baby, I'm done.
Renesmee. Kill me. Who came up with that name?
Have you seen the doll they almost used?
Yeah, it's horrifying.
They have it in like a scary
like-
horror museum.
His eyes are like this.
So thanks for that.
You're welcome. I'm gonna buy you one.
That was mean.
It's your birthday present this year.
But yeah, okay, so I kept wondering why they were bringing Atreus back up too.
Yes.
And we do find out more in part 2,
Yes.
which I feel like that doesn't really spoil anything. But yeah,
No, I
like, because
agree.
he went through the whole thing too.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm not bringing my dad into this. Like,
No.
he's
Fuck
freaking
my dad.
weirdo.
Yeah.
And he starts to be there for her, and he's rubbing her hands.
Yes. And okay, we also get more about Moro's birth story. That was insane. That he like ripped himself out of his mother.
Yeah. That was horrible, and the more and more we find out about him, like,
He's
the more and more
scary.
it makes sense.
It does, 100%. But I also wrote, like, he continuously is, like, smoothing her hair.
And he's rubbing her hands in a certain way.
Yes. And
Did
then,
you-
and she said that's how I do it. And the only reason I'm letting him do it is because, like, I'm basically dead.
Yeah.
And then her, like, at the end of this chapter, her hands on his, like, chest, and she's, like, basically getting ready to die, essentially, is how I felt. And he says, please stay. Please.
Yeah. Like,
Now I'm like, okay, so you, like, there's,
something there.
yes.
He, like, pulls her to her and, like,
Yes.
clutches her and is like, you can't leave. Like,
Yeah.
And then it just jumps to, like, all these memories flooding back on page
She
277.
jumps out of bed, and Farron is there immediately and is like, what the fuck is happening? And then, yeah, we jump into all of these memories, and there's all of these, like, they give us all of these, like, quotes, and it's
But kind of like everything we relived a little bit.
a little, but also some of the quotes we've already heard in part 2. I have them written down,
Yeah.
and
They're vague enough, but also, like, enough to give us, like, okay,
yeah.
what the fuck happened during this, like, war?
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it just was like part 2, and it jumps back 4 years.
Yep.
I was like
4 years.
upset. I was so upset. Like, I'm so excited and I'm loving it, but I was like, I'm not. Can we go back?
Yeah, so it's like, Iva, hold fast, we're losing the war, Lila, I made a mistake, like,
Yes.
all those things. And then, again, yeah, surely I deserve some, like, all these things, so, like, he's in there.
Yeah.
So then we're finding out, too, like, they knew each other.
Yes, it's confirming what you thought.
Which I was pumped about, because I'm like, if I've been really liking this man, and he's, like, the evil guy, I
Yeah.
need therapy. Because
You don't know what? We probably need therapy either way, guys. Nothing wrong with, like, evil MMC.
I loved that, though, so we don't know if she's dying, we don't know
No.
what's going on.
But my thought process is obviously the memories broke through at this point. She's like, can you imagine what that would feel like? All of your memories, like, pouring back into your head.
Yeah, and so part 3, dude, is into, like, 800, page, like,
Holy
800.
shit! Well, I
So
guess it is
we have,
4
like, the
years.
short part 1, part 2.
Yeah.
And then, like, a shorter
Part
part
3.
3.
Which makes sense because this is a 4-year time span where, like, part 1 is probably, 6 months?
Yeah.
That feels right to me, but damn, I didn't know that.
So part 2, chapter 22, we get 4 years prior.
My first note, this is a shocking jump.
It is. And I was honestly kind of like, oh, great. This is going to be like the first 2 chapters of part 1 for me.
I was in it immediately.
And so then, like, but then after, like, the house scene, whatever. So I got way back into it again.
Yeah.
But I was, like, kind of bummed that I'm, like...
We were finally so into it, and it's like, now we have to do more world building.
Well, yeah. I don't know. I just thought that it wasn't going to be as good as it is. But again, still good. Still churning
Still
these pages.
chomping at the bit to read.
So she's talking about Soulless Splendor, which is the
Yes.
Bayard's house. And she's kind of hesitating going in. She knocks on the door. Sebastian welcomes her in, which is the uncle of the Bayards, or the Bayard
so
uncle.
Titus's brother.
Yes. And she's just uncomfortable. She
Yeah.
doesn't want to be there, whatever. And the guy, like, the group there, like, Lila and these other random people, they're kind of like, not Lila isn't, like,
No.
Lila's super excited she's there, but the rest kind of are making fun of her a little bit, like, not making her feel super comfortable, whatever. And then we have, like, this Titus scene.
Well, first,
I mean...
I noticed this right away. So, it's like Luke, Soren, Lydia, and then someone else. I don't remember his name. Lila.
Yeah.
And then they're all sitting by this fire, and Luke is like fucking around with fire, and someone pats for Helena to come sit by her, but it's right next to Luke. And she talks about, is it Iva?
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 Let's do Iva.
Iva? Yeah.
Iva.
She sounds like a real bitch.
She talks about how Iva wouldn't want Helena that close to Luke. And that was like my first kind of like, okay.
It's just weird. Like,
it is.
There's a lot of passive aggression in general with these
agree.
people. And, like, with everyone to her specifically, too.
Yeah. So I thought that was really interesting. And that was like kind of the first insight we get to
The group.
her and Luke's dynamic, the group. And then she starts like walking through the house, and she's like, no, I've got things to do, because she doesn't want to get in trouble. And this is where she comes across Titus, and Titus is playing with a ball of yarn.
And, like, she feels really responsible for not being able to save him. And she goes into kind of that backstory. And his wife, Rhea, is, like, again, really passive-aggressive. Like, she's kind of seems, like, mad at her almost. But then also...
I didn't get mad at all.
I got that she just seemed, like...
I thought that she was more...
disappointed.
That's what I was going to say. And I don't think that it was necessarily in Helena. I think it was disappointed in, like... there just wasn't any updates. I didn't get disappointment and, like, mad at Helena at all. I was more thinking of, like, just sad for her husband. And she's talking about how Titus is, like... and they've addressed this, that he's basically a toddler and... a enormous man's body.
Yeah. And so it's Rhea and Titus Bayard, and they have the twins, Soren and Lila.
Yes.
So that helps me, too, with, like, some...
We're creating, like, a family tree.
This is
almost.
where I got a little less confused.
Yeah, a little clearer.
Yeah, I don't know, because then Rhea, like, she seems nice. I mean, she gives her, like, a gift.
Yeah,
that was a
and it was,
really
like,
thoughtful thing.
A gorgeous, like, knitted sweater.
That had alchemy symbols on it and all this. So I don't know. I just feel like there was still passive aggression there.
Okay,
like,
I didn't get that at all, but we also, like, obviously read in very different tones.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. I don't think.
doesn't.
I mean, she's not, like, anything big. I
Yeah.
just feel like throughout part 2, Helena just really...
I feel like
doesn't have a backbone, so sometimes it's hard to, like, read through, and, like, these people are very passive aggressive, and so just sometimes it's hard to read other characters.
I guess I never thought that she didn't have a backbone. I feel like she's so dedicated to the cause and so dedicated to Luke that she's just willing to do whatever, and this is her easiest path, if that makes sense. I guess I didn't necessarily get no backbone.
She just never says no. Like, she never stands up for herself. She never says, like, no, this is, like, no. Like,
Which, see,
and never says, like, you guys, like, Luke is my friend, I'm gonna sit next to him. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I
Like,
guess.
she doesn't, like, stick up for, like, she wants to be friends with Luke, but then
Mm-hmm.
she's letting, like, Iva, like, push her around and be like,
Which,
no, you can't
fair. I don't know. It's
because
weird.
it's bad for his image. Like, I'd be like,
Yeah.
get bent. Like, he's my friend.
No, and I get that too, but my thought process is she doesn't want to get Luke in trouble because she knows that Luke will push back,
Mm-hmm.
and then that will be actually worse for his, like, reputation.
Like, she doesn't want to, like,
She doesn't want to be the cause
make
of
any
anybody.
waves.
Yes.
She doesn't want to make any waves. She already gets kind of bullied. She really just sort of whatever.
Yeah.
So it's hard to read things
It
through
is.
her lens is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
Like
I agree.
sometimes I'm like, is this person like that or not? But I don't know. It's just interesting. So then she's talking to Luke.
Yeah, so she tries to leave, and Luke catches her, and they're, like, talking, and Luke's doubting himself.
Yes.
Does this upset you?
I mean, they're having this really nice conversation, and then he kind of turns around and is a total asshole to her.
And how did you
When
feel
he
asshole?
when he says don't say things like that, he said cutting her off. That's not helping.
Oh, okay.
When literally all she says was like the wars were easier than this one. Like stop beating yourself up. And then he's
Yeah.
like, just stop saying that. Like that's not helping. Like
I guess that's not how I read it at all. It was like a more of a like, stop saying that. Like it's just, but I guess either way, it is kind of dickish. You're right.
and then she says her mouth snapped shut and she didn't know what else to say. Nothing ever seemed to be right.
Okay, no, you're right.
Like that to me seems like okay. He does this a lot. Then like she can't say anything to him without him getting like upset.
Like defensive almost.
And I feel like you called that in part 1. Like you literally said that she seemed like she was afraid to like say anything
Yeah.
or speak out and like
Which you're right. I just wasn't reading that way, but I think I was also like garbling up all of this information that kind of like blew past because there's a lot in this chapter.
a lot.
And my thing is, so in the back, Lila is telling this story. And she's talking about how Orin, who created the internal flame, is like killing off all these there's one necromancer. And he kills them off in the valley and fills them with fire. But, one of the kids goes, well, what was his name? And
No
they didn't know
one
his name.
knows.
Yeah. Do we think that Morov was that necromancer?
I don't know. I was wondering that too because I'm like, why are they putting this backstory in here?
And also like the emphasis of like nobody knows his name.
Yeah, I agree. I do feel like there was some significance in
Yes,
that story
okay,
for
okay.
sure.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, and then we learn that again, she gets in trouble for talking to him or associating with him in
Yeah.
any way, which is fucked up.
Doesn't make any sense to me either because they've been friends forever since she got to the academy.
Because she's a vivomancer. Like that's literally it.
So annoying.
And it's against the faith and like she can't see if so I don't know, it's so weird. So chapter 23 and
Yes.
it has the dates on all these. I think it's so funny that they say like February.
Yeah, and it's just you're like you can just say February.
And when they say Saturday and Monday, they said Saturnus and Martyr Day. I'm like, I want our weeks reshaped here.
Yeah. Can we change the sayings here, guys, quick?
Yeah.
So in this first scene in chapter 23, they're kind of jump right into her working in the hospital. And she's working on this guy, and she does end up saving him. And they note how she won't look at their faces because she knows so many of them.
Yeah, and we get just more detail in general, like
Yeah.
backstory on her hospital life, and I really appreciated that. And we get to like introduce to a shitload more people, like
We do.
Matron Pace, and she's kind of like her equal a little
I was
bit.
going to say, Matron Pace is the only matron that doesn't seem like a dick.
Yeah, she's a real MFer.
I also...
And she doesn't have any
No.
alchemy, so she's
Yeah.
just a nurse.
Yep.
Like, so I thought that was interesting too.
I also really like getting to see her use magic. Not magic, resonance. Because we didn't get to see that in part one, obviously.
No, I loved like
Yes.
this backstory. Like it opens up where they she's working on a patient, and then we get the details of that. So that was really interesting.
Yeah, and then her next patient dies, and then a ghostly cold runs through her when they die. I feel like that is insane. It's almost like when she's working on him, at least this is how I pictured it, when the person dies, their soul, like, running through her body and then leaving. Because she's like, she's almost like connected to them, I feel like, when she's using her resonance on them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's how I pictured it, and it just feels, oh,
Yeah.
icky.
So then she's like just tired.
Yeah.
Because like they have people coming in and in and in and in and in
It's
from
like a
this war
nonstop
battle.
flow.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she has this meeting. She goes to this meeting and all the people are there from the Eternal Flame, like the 5 big people or whatever, besides Luke.
Yep.
And it's bad. She like delivers this negative report like about all these people dying, all the numbers are low, and she basically knows that she's gonna like these people are not gonna accept her proposal, but she says, I need to say like I think we need to start talking about people donating their corpses for reanimacy.
Yeah.
So that we can use basically what our enemies are using it back against them. But this would be like a choice for them. Like they could donate to the cause.
They get to choose. You're not stripping away their rights when they're dead.
And everyone clutches their pearls and they're like, oh, how dare you suggest that? Like, literally freak out and they're like, oh my God, like, she's having a breakdown. Don't look at her. Like,
It's like, so like in one of and there's like a crowd here. It's kind of like a council meeting where people get to go sit in.
like gavel type thing. Yes.
And in the crowd, all I'm picturing is that meme of, you need to leave.
Yeah, like everybody's flipping out. And she's like, we need to be real here. Like, we are losing. Like, you guys are not understanding. Like, we will not have people left anymore if we don't do something different.
Yeah, and they, like, scold the shit out of her and basically like, thank God Luke the Principate wasn't here to hear you say that. You're lucky. And they freak the fuck out. And she gets sent out of the meeting and they're like, since you're such a valuable asset here, we're going to strike that from the record, but you're not allowed to come to these meetings anymore. So then she goes out and she starts sobbing.
Well, Soren catches her first.
Yes.
And was like, calls her Sweet Fire, which was really interesting. He's like, come here, Sweet Fire. And I'm like, who the F is this? And it's Soren.
Yeah,
and
you're
I'm
like, oh, wait, Sweet Fire.
I know, I'm like, okay. So yeah, it was interesting. And he gives it to her straight.
I literally put very blunt.
He gives it to her straight. He's like, you knew that wasn't going to go anywhere.
So why do it? So why put yourself in
also-
more hot water when you're in a continuously boiling pot?
He's also like, you're covered in blood and fluids. You look crazy. Like, you could have at least cleaned up before you went in there.
Looks like you just rolled around on 4 dead corpses before you got here.
And he gives it to her straight, and he's like, I know what your problem is. Like, you don't believe in the gods. And she's like, yes, I do. And he's like, no, you don't. Like, you don't have the faith. Like,
yeah. And I thought that, like, this was a very seen line for her about why she doesn't believe in the gods. When she goes, whether you win a battle or lose a battle, all I see is the cost.
yeah.
Because she's so right. The only people coming into the hospital are who suffered during the attack. So it doesn't matter if you won or lost. All she's seeing is death and having to re-put these people back together just to send them back out to potentially be back on a gurney in 2 weeks.
Well, and I think that she's really taking, like, she's so empathetic, but she's taking, like, the emotion out of it, like, and being real. Like, this is what needs to happen. I think that's easier when that's not, like, your religion.
I
and
agree.
I think, like, I actually kind of appreciated, like, this conversation because it really showed that, like, she's like, hey, we have to put our faith aside and, like, do something different unless, like, we want to be, like, decimated.
Yeah, and then Soren leaves her there and she falls asleep in, like, it was kind of an alley, kind of not. I don't know.
It's like this dark hallway.
Yeah. An inside alley.
Exactly.
So she gets woken up by Iva, basically, like, kicking her.
Yes.
And of course, she literally said when she didn't sit down by Luke, she didn't want to get, it made me think of Love Island, she didn't want to get pulled in for a chat.
And then, so she gets pulled in for a track, and it's her, Iva, and Crowther.
Also, I'm saying it right now, hate Crowther.
He's
horrible.
Like, we got him in part 1 as a creepy lich, whatever.
Same thing.
What?
Same thing.
Yeah, and it was just, I don't know, he gives me the heat.
Same. He grosses me out bad. And I also picture, so he has an arm that doesn't work, and I just picture it being like really like
Don't do this. I
shrimp.
saw your arm come up and do this weird
picture me-
T-Rex thing.
And it's not like this. His arm looks normal, but I'm picturing it as like a raisin arm.
Ew. Now I'm gonna picture. I literally had no thoughts on that, so thank you for that. But anyway, to get to the point,
Yes.
Kane Farron
Yes.
wants her willing before and after the war. Like, he wants her to be his, whatever the F that
Yeah.
means. And we find out that he's a spy. So he's technically on the guild side, but he's like he's a spy for the other side.
And that was his one condition. Two conditions. Pardoned for killing Apollo, the Principate, before Luke, and then he wants her.
Yeah, just willing.
But before and after war, this is not, like, this is for the rest of her life.
Yes.
He wants her.
Yep.
I got kind of excited at that.
Me too, especially because I'm like, oh, this is gonna be good.
Yes.
Like, now, like,
I
they
literally-
knew each other.
They did.
So then, that brings me to, like, in part 1, does he have all his memories? Like,
Okay, so she can't tell her friends, which, that's rough.
yeah.
And then I also put Crowther now being Farron's dad. So when they take their bodies, is it more of just like all of a sudden they're in the capacity of that body? Or do you think that they get access to like the person prior's mind?
I don't know. That's a really good question. I think it's just the body,
Okay.
but I don't know.
Because obviously Crowther knows all of this shit about Farron and now his dad's in his body. And you think that if his dad had known that, then he probably would have ran and told on him, right?
I don't know.
So I'm just very curious about that.
I don't know, yeah. And she's just uncomfortable, but she's like, I'll do it. Like,
Yeah, I'll do
anything
whatever.
for Luke, like, whatever. And I just said right here, like, she's really, like, just gets treated like shit by
She
these
does
people.
get treated like shit. She is a fucking doormat.
They do not respect her. They basically just keep her around for her abilities, but then they also shun her for those abilities. It's very hypocritical. I'm having a hard time.
And again, this makes me feel like we're not on the right side. But also, then we get introduced to the other side, and I said, this also is not the right
Like,
side.
this council is made up of Crowther, Iva Holdfast,
Yep.
Falcon, Luke, and then there's one other person. I don't know
He
who
was the
that is.
general. I'm blanking on his name too, but we haven't gotten a whole lot from
But
him.
out of those people, like, none of them are really giving me these warm, fuzzy feelings.
Pace and Luke are the only ones who seem halfway
But Matron Pace isn't in the 5.
I know.
I mean, she's in the Artorial Flame, so I get what
Yeah.
you're saying. But yeah, same. Pace is it.
Falcon is horrible.
Luke is fine so
We
far.
don't know anything about him. I feel like he's solid at his core, but he has all of these shitty people on his council directing him shitty ways.
Agreed.
And he's also a child. This war started when he was 16, and he's relying on these adults who are horrible. Can you imagine having the weight of the world on your shoulders at 16? I would also be like, please tell me
And I
what to
think
do.
that's why she also gets pushed around too.
I agree,
Because,
'cause-
like, I have way more of a, I'm going to call it a backbone than I did when I was 16.
100%.
Like, I'd be
'Cause-
like, oh, these are my, like, officials I'm supposed to be. They're the ones who let me into the school. If I
Yeah.
get kicked out of the school, like, what am I going to do? Like, she really doesn't have...
Because how old is she here? Do we know? I want to say...
Well, it said 4 years prior, and she was, what, 21 or 20?
I thought that she was older than 20, but I might be wrong. Because the war started when she was 16. And the war's already going on at this point. So I'm going to go 17, 18.
Okay, yeah, I think that's close. I
Okay.
know she's not older than 22
Yeah.
at the beginning of this book. So, she's not that old.
No, she's not old enough. And also, like, these are your superiors. You don't know anything different.
So anyways, yeah, so then
Yeah.
chapter 24, we find out that if they rip out the lumithium pieces out of the liches, it kills them and the Necrothals.
And that's what they were... that's the same thing that we talked about in the first book. When Mandel got switched bodies, that metal piece is what
Yes.
harbored her soul, essentially.
So again, this is where I'm like starting to be like, check.
Yes.
Like, now this is clicking.
And then this is kind of where I'm sus as fuck of Soren. I put, do we think that Soren is a spy for the necromancers? I don't know what it is. He gives me...
But they already had said at this point that it was Cain was the spy. So I was like, oh yeah, Cain gave them that
but
info.
Soren, I'm wondering if Soren is a spy for the,
For
other side.
Okay, yeah.
Because we have no idea
track
if he's
with that.
dead.
Yes.
I do think that he's either really bad or he's the only resistance member that's alive still.
Well, okay, the thing that gets me with Soren is when she was recovered, like trying to get her memories recovered, and she kept being like, Luke, Lila, and there was someone else. There was someone else. Like, why can't she remember him?
I know. So then that makes me think that he's maybe good and she's just protecting him in her hidden memories.
I don't know.
But I just like, I'm
Something's
getting
up with
sus
him.
vibes from him.
Same. I'm with you.
Okay.
Anyways, so yeah, we find out that that's the Cain gave that information to them,
Yes.
and we find out that Lila is a messy, shitty roomie.
Yeah. She leaves a trail of destruction behind her.
Yeah, she sounds horrible to be roomed with. Anyways, she has this holy amulet too. That's like this sun whatever, and she's holding it so tightly because she's just so frustrated with like everything that's going on and getting pawned off and like giving her life away to Cain whatever. And it scars her hand. And so then again, we find out where the hand scars come from.
A little bit before that. So she runs in to Luke and all of them, and they invite her to go out, and she's like, no, I can't. Her basically being like, I don't want to get in trouble. So this is where I kind of like first took to think is like, maybe they're in love with each other, and everybody else is keeping them separate. I can't tell if it's friendship or like love, like relationship love.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you were right, though, before. You made a prediction and you said that she's more...
That she's in love with him and he's more of just, like, platonic.
Whatevs, man.
Yeah. So I was kind of starting to notice that there's a rougher dynamic there, and it's not necessarily their fault. It's not Luke's fault. It makes me Luke a little more likable for me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and then...
So then we get some more information on Crowther. So we find out that he was orphaned.
Yes.
And that's why he's seeking revenge for necromancy. Like, he's against necromancy, necromancers. Like, he doesn't really believe, it seems like, in everything that the eternal flame offers. But, like, all he is in it for is revenge. Because of his child and his upbringing.
Yeah.
And he's talking to her. He kind of, like, drags her into his office and is being creepy, just
and
the
his
two of
office
them.
is gross.
Yeah. And he's talking about
a dilapidated couch in there. You're telling me that you're on the High Council and you can't get a semi-put-together couch?
It's, like, shadowy and just weird vibes.
Books
Anyways,
everywhere.
he's, like, kind of being super condescending to her and was, like, talking about, well, do you remember what their symbol is for the Farrens? Like, and we find out that the Ouroboros dragon or whatever.
Yes, we found out about this. Yep.
The wings are a symbol for iron.
Yeah, the way it is, it looks like iron. And it's kind of them being, like, pompous in a sense. That they're continuously going on forever. Iron will always outlive is kind of what I took from that.
Yeah, like, I mean, there was a lot of different meanings there, but I thought that was interesting. And he basically wants her to enthrall Farron.
He wants her to seduce him.
She's like, no, like, she's very morally conflicted here. Because she doesn't want to do that. And he's like, you have to.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have a choice. And just sucking.
Yes, and her basically, and then she, like, tries to, like, fight back and is like, I'm your only healer. Like, I need to be here. And he goes, you're replaceable. We already have people lined up to take your position. This is all you are anymore.
And that devastates her. Because she's like, she knows that's the only reason why people, like, keep her around.
Yes, and, like, going back just a touch, too, we kind of get an insight to there's a toll with healing.
Yes.
So every person you heal takes, like, it's kind of like when they say, like, every hot dog you eat takes 5 minutes off of your life.
Who is saying
You've
that?
never heard that before?
No! Well, now I can't eat a hot dog without thinking about my life. Oh my god.
So every person that she heals takes a piece of her.
So every person is like a hot dog? Every person she heals is a hot dog of her life? That's actually a really good analogy, though.
Oh,
Okay. Okay. Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. But yeah, I put on here, like, I really do think that Crowder is just bad news.
He's icky.
Yeah. And then we get to chapter 25.
Yeah, and we also kind of find out, too, that Crowler is, like, assuming that Theron showed his hand when he called him out, and that maybe he has an obsession with Helena.
Yeah.
And then we jump into, chapter 25.
Yeah. And they go to this outpost, which is their meeting place.
Yeah.
And it's kind of just this creepy place. It's technically a safe zone from the war. Like, nobody can get... It's basically like in a zombie movie, like what you would expect it would look like. You know what I mean?
And it's like just right next to a dam, and that's the reason that it's a safe place, is because they don't want to flood the city, because then it's useless to both sides. So she knocks on this door that she was told to meet him at, and when he opens the door, he looks completely different. He looks the exact same way he did when they were at the academy, but not how he looks in part 1. He's got dark hair and brown eyes, and was his eyes brown? I don't know. They're not silver. Whereas in part 1, he's got like silver hair and silver eyes.
But she's taken aback because he looks 16.
Yes. Yes, and
So
she said
then
that
they
it's 4
aren't-
years. So they're 20.
So then she must be 22
Yes, because at the end of this part, she
at the part 1.
Yeah.
22.
because she gets taken and put into the holding chamber, and she's there for 18 months. So,
Gotcha.
anywho's it's.
Yeah.
I thought that it was crazy that he looked so different.
So she finds out, like, he must be undying them.
Yes.
And there's this, like, it's like this bare room. Nothing's in
Nothing
it. I mean,
in
it's
it.
nothing like this crazy room. And
Yeah.
he's super sassy to her. And they have kind of all this banter. And then I just loved this whole scene. It was very
eating it
wholesome.
up.
It was so, like, I don't know. From everything that we've, like, seen in part
Yes.
1, it was just awesome. And then we find out, like, she kisses him, and they have this amazing kiss, and it was her first kiss.
Yeah, and then he also says, before they kiss, surely I deserve something in return to warm my cold heart. She heard that at the part of end 1. The end of part 1. Jeez. That was one of the, like, memories that came rushing back to her. So then they kiss, and then he pulls away from her and is, like, all surprised. And then he gives her the ring.
The ring.
And at the start of part 1, she's, like, noticing how Aurelia has all these rings, and he's only wearing this, like,
One black
this
ring.
one black ring.
And it's the same one he kind of tossed nonchalantly
Yeah.
to her, like, this thing doesn't mean anything.
if you swallow it, I'll bring it back up. And it's the ring that goes along with her ring. And then I'm thinking in part 1, I'm like, well, she's still wearing it, because once we get a little further on.
I was wondering that, too. If she hit it,
Yes! Yes!
I guarantee it's still
I
on.
agree. I agree.
So, yeah, that's kind of cool. And he can transmute it, so that's how they communicate, which is so freaking cool.
It is. Like, he told her basically that if it heats up twice, that it's an emergency and she needs to come right away.
And they're going to meet every Saturnus in Murder Day.
Yes. And then at the end of the chapter, he gives her, like, a letter that has the information that he's trading in it, and it's addressed to Aurelia. That, like, I don't know why, but I was like,
I know. It's just
doesn't-
fun. It's fun that now all these
Yes.
things is clicking. Like, we're finally getting answers.
do you think
and
this is what people felt like when they read Assassin's Blade first?
I don't know. I'm still against that, by the
I'm
way.
also still against that.
Yeah. So then, chapter 26.
Yes.
It's still February. We find out more about his mom. So, Enid.
Yes.
And he was talking about how, like, I think Crowther's having this conversation
Yes,
and
yep.
telling how she was a silver alchemist because he's
Yeah.
asking her about the rings and it's silver. And we kind of found out that Atreus was, like, taken with her.
Yes.
And he was arrested for employing vivimancers to help with the pregnancy.
Yeah, and you kind of find out that he married her out of obligation, is what they mentioned. So she was pregnant, but then they talk about, and trigger warning, they talk about her having 2 miscarriages because silver and iron don't mix well together. So then when, like, you're obviously creating a baby, which is so, like, it's not cool because it's horrible, but it's really interesting to hear how, like, their magics can affect them being together and having kids.
Yeah. And so he's just trying to help, like, one pregnancy get through because they had so many losses, and then he was arrested for that.
Because you're not allowed to use vivimancy or necromancy or any of
And,
that
like,
stuff.
this is where, again, like, where we could see the guild side of things, where it's like, what is the big deal? Like, get over it, you guys.
Yeah, like, we're trying to have a baby and I'm not allowed to let someone, like, because it's essentially an ultrasound.
Like, help me out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I was not impressed.
Yeah, I don't know. And so...
And then after they had Farron, they, like, secluded themselves in their house.
Yeah, and it was just odd. And he's talking about all this, and then we find out she's like, how do you know all this? And he says, why do you think I was brought onto the faculty and made Kane Farron's academic advisor?
Yes, and I thought that was also so interesting because they were talking about how everybody was super suspicious and they thought that he was, I don't remember what it's called when they, like, make a baby, like, scientifically. And they talk about how they're perfect. And the only way for Farron's family to prove that he wasn't that was to send him to school. But then they were super suspicious of him, and that's why they brought Crowther on.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. And then they have another meeting, her and Kane. And again, he learned animancy from Bennett. So he kind of shows her unexpectedly or whatever, like, to protect himself. So he, like, quick jumps on her and, like, does the... whatever you want to call it.
Transference.
Yeah. Or, transference. Why do you call it
I don't know.
And he's like, I just need you to know this so I can protect myself. And so it's just really interesting that we're seeing, like, this isn't the first time that's happened to her.
Yes, and we also learn more about the transference process, that you can only really focus in on the things that the person was focusing in on. So he could really easily see when she was trying to, like, figure out the door because she was so focused on it. Whereas if, like, when you're walking through the supermarket, if you're looking for a specific item, everything else that you're looking at, you're not focusing on it, so they wouldn't be able to see those details. So I thought that was really interesting, and him kind of being like, so if anybody else ever does this to you, don't act like they saw something important.
Yeah.
So you can fake them out just as much as they can fake you out.
And I thought that was so good.
Yes.
It was so interesting. Yeah, and then so again, like, he sees her in these things, like, she's in this lab and she's, like, hiding the ring or putting something on it.
Yes.
And he's like, what'd you do to the ring? Like, what did you do to it?
Freaking out.
And she's like, it was part of my grad thing.
Yeah.
And she does an experiment where it, like, hides, and he's impressed by that.
Yes.
And then was this the part where she said was gonna travel with Luke or something? Or this must not have been it.
I don't think so.
Okay.
But anyways, that's where we were talking about. I'm wondering if the ring is still on her and she can't see it.
Same.
Because she mentions how you can't see the object unless you know it's there.
Yeah. I think it's hidden too.
I do too.
Because I think, why else would he keep his on?
I know.
So that's so cool. I'm so interested.
Also, she puts it on her ring finger.
On her left
ring finger.
Left ring finger. I know, I was like, she tries the other ones.
And they don't fit. But it ends up on her left ring finger. You gotta look for the giddy parts in this book, guys.
I don't even gotta look for them. They're just front and center for me. But yeah, she's gonna kind of teach her and test her on it.
Yes.
And chapter 20, so then we jump to chapter 27.
Yep.
It happens again. She does well. And she kind of, this is in the next chapter, but she kind of starts to like it.
Yeah.
She starts to like
learning about it.
How her mind works and being good at it.
Yes.
And, so it's just interesting. And then she does well, and then he gives her opium for recovery. Because she's like, gonna pass out from all this fur and stuff.
So then we kind of learn more too about Farron and how he's always been really alone and by himself and never close to anybody, which made me really sad because she talks about how at school he didn't have any friends because no one was like thoroughly questioned when Apollo died.
Yeah.
And that just made me really sad. And then we kind of get more information about like Bennett torturing him while also going into his mind. And he talks about how Bennett just likes to go into a mind while you're screaming.
Mm-hmm. Just
Bennett's
to like feel it.
scary.
Yeah, yeah. And I put too, she's so intuitive. Like,
Yes.
he didn't outright say, like, I'm lonely or I don't have friends.
Yes.
She just kind of inferred that. And I think that, honestly, like, she's been bullied. She's been lonely. So I think, like, she recognizes that in him.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really intuitive of her.
I did too.
Because it was not, like, obvious by any means. But she's like, oh, like, he's lonely.
Yeah, and she calls him out on it, and then he like gives her information.
And I think, like, she's just very, like, empathetic to that. Like, her character is just very, she's so smart, she's so, and everyone just takes her for granted.
And you know how they thought that he requested her because he's infatuated with her? I was wondering, do we think that he requested her because he knows how important she is to Luke and he wanted to, like, hurt Luke while also hurting her?
But that's a good theory.
I just thought that there was
Like,
more
what's the
to it.
reason?
I don't think that he picked. I think that they're gonna like. There's something going on between them, but I don't think that he picked her because he was interested in her to start.
Okay. I don't
think
know
that
if
it
I
was
did
like
either.
hurting Luke, on top of also hurting Helena and also taking someone who's so important to the Resistance as their healer.
I agree. I think so too. Based on the way he kind of gets surprised by, like, almost how much he's taken.
Interested?
Yes. Yes. So I think you're onto something there
Okay.
for sure. So anyway, she goes back to the hospital, and all of a sudden, she just gets approached with trainees. And
Is this chapter 28 or is this till 27?
We're on 27.
Okay.
And she gets approached with all these trainees, which is so hypocritical. Like,
I know.
she wants to scream.
Yeah.
Because she's like, are you kidding me?
It took me getting my uterus removed to get put in this position, and now you're just bringing 4 people that I have to train, and you're just okay with more healers in the building?
Like,
Because Falcon had to approve this, and Falcon is the worst.
Yeah, she's just pissed, and she doesn't really say anything or whatever. And the 4 trainees introduce herself, and one of them is Elaine Boyle.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And this is where it kind of cleared it up for me that she wasn't like. I knew that Titus's wife was obviously Rita, but I thought that there was still entanglement there. But this is the first time that I realized I'm like, oh, like they're separate entities. They have nothing to do with each other.
And it was so interesting too, because I really thought since they talked about her like a few times in the part 1, I really thought she was gonna be some bigger player.
I did too, not some trainee.
And they kind of like, she talks about her though, like she's not very good. Like she's not like this amazing trainee that's out of the park. You know what I mean? And then she's like, yeah, Elaine Boyle's kind of like the gossip. Like,
yeah, I'd give her a C.
I don't know.
I know,
It just was a weird.
I agree.
And then, oh my gosh, I died at this quote because anybody who's trained another person in knows how much it sucks.
Yeah.
She's like, in less than a week, Helena was tired of all her trainees. They did not adapt to their new posts once they began to realize that healing was not an illustrious, rank. Like,
Yeah.
she's like, they don't know what they're doing. They all just stand around and they're like,
waiting for her
"Dur-dur-dur."
to come rescue the team.
And they were all kind of basically told that, like, Vivamancy just, like, comes to you. Like, you don't need to do any work. Like, you'll just feel it. And Helena's like, no. Like, it takes scientific,
Yes, and again, that's so
it's
frustrating.
learning. Like, do you think that what I do is just...
They do. They think what she does is trivial and that it does not matter and that it's an easy task to do.
And it's replaceable. And so she's like, what the fuck? Like, now you're making my job 10 times harder.
Yeah. Well, I'm also trying to save people, and then I have to, like, rush to other patients because they're doing a shitty job.
Yeah, so I just laughed because I'm like,
know.
that is so real.
It is so real.
Yeah, I don't know. And then at the bottom, so her and, Farron meet up again or
Yep.
whatever. And this is where he says, you were 2 years into your undergrad studies. How had you not decided? Because he was asking her, like, what did you go
Yes.
for again?
Yeah.
Like, what was your repertoire? She's like, Luke wanted to travel and he wanted me to go with him. I thought I could choose afterwards. And he's like, what?
Yeah.
Like, you're...
What do you mean you're putting your studies on hold to go? It's like when someone's like, yeah, I'm taking a year off to go backpacking with my dirtbag boyfriend. And you're like, wait.
I'm scared. It's like what? And when Jess goes with what a new girl, she's like, I had to pee on top of his pee.
Oh,
and it was like so bad.
That's called mud sharking.
It's like that. Like, just don't do it.
Yeah.
It's a bad choice.
It's a bad
and why are you
choice.
like letting him? And so I'm starting to see like, okay, interesting. That was interesting. And then we get more Aurelia,
Yes.
and we find out like kind of his side of
Yeah.
how he's like since he's been 9, he's been
betrothed to her, and he basically was talking about how he met her one time, he never wanted to see her again, and he kept meaning to write her these letters to end it, but he could never like go through with it.
or like he said, but somehow they all go astray.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? Like
don't
they get
know.
lost, he doesn't really send them.
I think he doesn't finish them. Like his mind gets astray and he never finishes the letters to her. That was my thought process, at least.
Yeah, I don't know. So that was interesting getting
Yeah.
his point of view.
I agree.
So then, chapter 28, we're in Martius. So this is where she's liking learning about her mind.
Yes.
And she's like, finds herself sort of practicing it here and
like,
there.
This is kind of when we find out, like, she doesn't realize it, or she's kind of thinking, like, maybe she's an animancer, too.
Mm-hmm.
Which I thought was really interesting of, like, her realizing it herself as well.
Yeah.
But then she's, like, walking home after her shift, and she sees Luke and, was it Lila? Dueling?
Yeah.
And
What were you going to say?
I don't fucking know.
Squabbling?
Squabbling. And then she's like trying to like sneak off without getting seen while also like watching them. And Luke calls for her and she's like all prepared to go out with them. She's feeling like really happy.
Yeah, she's like, we're finally like, it's back how it
Yes.
was. Because right now, soldiers are dying. There's no
Yes.
supplies. Like, things are really bad. And so, yeah.
She's talking about like how happy he is too and how she doesn't get to see him like this. And it's also all of her friends. Like she's friends with Soren and Lila as well. So it's like her finally like almost getting to step out of this hard role that she has to go out with a couple friends. And they're also going to like talk about like academic stuff. Because
Yeah.
Luke needed help with something and Soren and Lila didn't know how to help him with it. So she's feeling like almost revived in a sense of like getting to live her personal life. And of course, Mr. Raisin Arm comes out of the shadows.
That is the best nickname we've gotten so far. That's better than Belly.
And
That's so good.
so Crowther.
Well, because she said no so many times, and he
Yes.
basically doesn't give her a choice.
No.
Like, he's like, you're coming. Like, I'm the Principate. I'm telling you what's
God.
up.
Yes. So he comes out and he's like, I need Helena. And Luke is like, I need her.
Like, they're fighting, basically.
They are. They're basically like peeing on their territory is what it feels like. And Helena gets no say until she finally just tells Luke, like, it's not worth it. I'm going to go help Crowler. Raise an arm.
And in this scene, too, Luke acts, to me, he acts very young in this scene when they're fighting. Like, when they're talking about, like, how he just never wants to study and, like, he could figure it out, but he
Yeah.
doesn't want to sit down and do the
I agree. That
equations
he felt very,
and...
Yeah, he felt very immature in this scene.
Not in, like, a bad way necessarily. Like, he's just a lighthearted, like wants to have fun. Like,
He's 20 and he got shoved into this role when he was 16. He didn't finish his studies. He has nobody on his side that's actually like helping. So I get it.
so then she's out in the wetland,
Well, first off,
harvesting.
Crowther like revokes her from seeing Luke until she
Oh,
figures
yeah.
out what Farron wants. He's like, you're not allowed to be around him. And I was like, what do you mean?
I mean, I guess I'm not surprised she's not allowed to do anything ever. Like,
I'm not saying that I was surprised. It was more of just why do you have the right to tell her that?
I mean, she was actually already told that, though.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? He just wasn't, like, even more
Yes.
like, no, you can't.
It's just annoying. But
I've already said that, though.
I know.
Just, like, in a passive-aggressive way.
Just not impressed. And then they're running
No,
low
it
on...
sucks.
It does. It sucks ass.
And she's not, like, sticking... That's what I mean. Like, I wish
No,
she was
back-
a little bit more... But again, she
got
doesn't
you.
have a choice.
Yeah. And then...
She's out in the woods. She's macheting up some wool for
Yeah.
medical supplies.
She's, like, scrounging up medical supplies because they're running so desperately low.
And she discovers this, like, chimera in this
Chimera.
wetland. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, they're called chimeras.
Chimera. And it's, like, this wolf dog with this,
Stubby legs and, like, a big-ass head.
it's like what kind of head is it, though? It's like a head of
A serpent is what they said.
Was it that?
I think so.
I thought it was like an alligator head, but a different word.
Reptile.
Reptile.
Reptile
Yes,
head.
yes. So then she's like scared because all these Necrothals come out and let it out.
Undying.
And it kills a Necrothal.
And she's like and they're across the river. So there's a decent chunk of land behind them, but she's like crawling on her belly to get away from this thing, talking about how she doesn't want to find out if it swims.
What?
And then as she's crawling back, she's talking about how cold she is because of the mud, and her ring heats up twice. And she's talking about how cold she is. It makes it hurt so bad. And she's like, he's just being a fucking dick. He didn't need to make it that hot. Mm-hmm. Farron's summoning her, essentially. And she knows why. She's like, it's because of the chimeras.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? When this came up, I was like, so that's what the monster in the shed is.
Yes, that's what I was thinking, too. Yep,
because they talked about how it's kind of wolf-like, but she didn't really go into a ton of detail in that part one. So I was like, oh... Mm-hmm. That makes more sense.
Do we think that the one in the shed is, like, the only one alive? Because they talk about how Bennett was crafting and making these things, and that this was, like, the first run that actually worked, so it's just going to continuously get better and better. Mm-hmm. So do we think that maybe the one that was on Farron's is, like, one of the only ones still around?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. And then they go back to meeting each other, and he summoned her to tell her about the
Yes, and she's
things.
like, I already know about it. She just pissed.
And they're kind of goading each other and, like, testing each other about, like...
They're pissing each other off, and she kind of is, like, at the realization of, like, I'm sick and tired of waiting to see if he's gonna try and, like, have sex with me, so I'm gonna goad him into doing it.
Because, like, waiting and not knowing is worse than him just doing it. And then he figures that out. Like, he figures out that's her train of thought. So then he's like, okay, like, strip.
Yep. Strip down.
And they're kind of, like, basically testing each other on how far they'll go.
It's like the episode of Friends when they find out that Chandler and Monica are together, and Phoebe is, like, trying to get Chandler to have sex with her.
It totally is.
But not in as fun of a way.
Yeah. And so then, like, all of a sudden, I don't know what she says, like, you get off on this power.
Yes.
And, like, she's kind of talking to him while she's, like, undoing her buttons. And then he freaks out.
I
don't know if you noticed this, identically to the part one of him freaking out, where he goes, get out, get out.
And the iron in the outpost building, she can hear it going, like, and making the groaning noises.
So what was interesting, too... That was the scariest face and noise combo I've ever seen. You just went...
That's what I'm thinking, like a building groaning.
No, that's like a cat in heat.
Look at her put up her
butt. A cat in heat.
That's like more like...
You would know.
I would know. I do have a cat, so...
Does Kirby get into heat?
He is a man, so no. So then what's... Okay, we're moving on.
So then, I have a couple questions here. So one, he was saying get out, not in like a being an asshole, but like him getting afraid to like hurt her. Like because she went into the fact that like when alchemists have this much power and they can't control like their emotions.
Yeah.
Like, anything could happen. Yes. And so she's afraid that she's going to be decimated. So him saying, like, get out, like, I'm becoming out of control.
That's not how I took it.
Is that, like, him saying, like, you need to get out because, like, shit's going down kind of thing?
No, I took it as a, like, get the fuck out of my face.
Then why would they go into that whole, like, talk then about how everything, like, when they can't control their emotions, like, he's getting pissed and pissed and pissed, and then that's why everything's groaning. Like,
I
he's
think
not
that he's
doing
still,
that
like,
on purpose.
I don't think he's doing that on purpose, but I think that he's just pissed off at her. Like, she obviously rubbed him the wrong way, and I think he's just telling her, like, get the fuck away from me. I don't want to see you right now. Like, I didn't take it as a protecting get out. I took it as a get out.
Because then, like, going back to part one,
Yeah.
then what was the, like, why then?
That one I feel like is different, though, because obviously they already have an established relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see that one being a, I don't want to hurt you, where this one is a, I don't like you. Because it's obviously a further along relationship in the first one.
Interesting.
And I think it's the same cause, like, can't control your powers,
Mm-hmm.
but the get outs were different. For me. And then we might get more information.
I think if he didn't like her, he would have been like, I don't care, you can get hurt.
Well, she's the only thing that she... And I'm not saying I don't think he doesn't like her. I think he was pissed at her.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess we'll see, because that's where we ended, which is crazy.
Literally horrible.
Liv was texting me
wanted
all
to
week
read
being like,
more.
so can we read more? Like, are you caught up yet?
I'm loving the story, even though it is dark. I'm not bothered as much as I said, which we kind of talked about.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. I still, like, really do not have a clue to where this book will end. Like,
I have no idea.
no, I don't know. And my thing too is, like, Kane is a literal real boy, like, true bad boy. Like, he's a tortured soul, literally.
Yeah, and he's, like, quite literally evil as well. Like, I think that a lot of the stuff he does is evil.
Mm-hmm.
Not opposed to them being together.
Yeah,
But
it's just,
he's evil.
like, I can't wait to read more.
I agree. I'm
just
so pumped.
It's really good. So
Definitely pulling me in. I'm with you. I don't think I have any clues. Part of me feels like Crowler might also be switching back and forth on sides. But now after that, that was before he had his conversation about hating animancy people and it so much. But I don't know. I'm not feeling good about him.
no, me neither. So yeah, we'll see. We'll probably read another 150-ish to 200. We'll see. We kind of end it. It depends where the chapters are.
Yes.
It's hard because the chapters are so long.
150 pages. If we're reading 150, if the 150 ends in the middle of the chapter, we're finishing that chapter. Same with
Yes.
200. So we're probably going to be somewhere between the 500, 550 for our next episode, depending on our availability this week.
Yeah, but it's good. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
Let's jump to the game.
I think it's your turn this week.
We don't have that many left.
Oh, I know.
We'll have to do like a TikTok or something and ask
know.
some people. Okay, it's top 3 FMCs. You go first.
Okay. Aelin.
Good choice.
Isla was up there for me. This last book, I don't think she cuts it anymore. I love Violet. Violet.
I love Violet too.
Trying to like pick a book that's not super mainstream that we've read. So hard. We've read so much
I'm with
stuff.
you too. I think Aylin's one of my tops. Violet definitely. Even I love her. And I honestly I really liked Auren and The Plated Prisoner.
She was really good.
I really liked her just like humor.
Yeah.
I thought she was really fun. So she's up there. But
Do you have your third? Or is it Auren?
I think she's my third.
I'm going Bryce.
Oh, wait a minute.
Bryce is so good.
I love Bryce too.
Oh, okay.
Honestly,
Aelin is Throne of Glass. Violet is Fourth Wing, and then Bryce is Crescent City.
Gosh, I don't know. I might have to boot someone for
Bryce.
because I do love her. But I have a hard time with saying people are my favorite because I haven't finished Crescent City yet.
I'm caught up on Crescent City, and she still ranks top for
Like,
me.
she is for me, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I have a hard time, like, committing to characters.
Yeah, when you haven't read, well, because
Because
we
I'm
were
like,
talking,
people could change.
we almost got dragon tattoos because we were like obsessed with Fourth Wing, and we're like, we should probably wait to make sure that they're not like
No,
bad
I literally
somehow.
said, I'm like, I can't until
Yeah.
I know that
Which
the
is so
series
fair.
is done.
It's like when
And, like, part of me is like, feels like that a little bit about Violet, but I don't know. At least, I don't know.
from where we're currently at in these books, because Crescent City isn't finished either.
No, I know.
Fourth Wing isn't finished. Those are my top
But I
contenders.
haven't, like, with Bryce, I haven't finished.
Mm-hmm.
I'm, like, part of the way through book 2.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm good with that.
Okay.
But I'm trying to think of someone else, too. Like,
I know some other solid FMCs.
it's like when people are like, hey, introduce yourself and say 3 interesting things about you. And you're like,
everything
I don't know
swipes.
anything about me.
It's
What
all
is
just
my
dog.
name? I have no interesting things.
So
and then
true.
afterwards, you're like, I should have said that.
I did really like. Why am I blanking on her name? Quicksilver.
Saris.
I
She
really
lost
li-
me
I
in
know.
book 2.
Isla and Saris.
Isla, yeah.
I loved her in the first 2 books.
You like the witch lady from Heartless Hunter, don't you?
Yes, that's it. I don't even remember her stupid name.
It was the way she got her blood. That did you in.
Also, Imogen.
But she's not a
Love her.
main, like,
Oh,
I
you're
wouldn't,
right. She's not
because
a main character.
immediately I started going, like, getting into other characters too, but then I'm like, she's not really a main character.
You're
Like,
right,
I
you're
love
right.
Lysandra
Same.
in Throne of Glass, and so like, her got brought up for me.
Yeah,
and
you're
then,
right. Not an MMC.
Yeah,
FMC.
FMC. So I don't know.
Yeah, but those are my type 3. I'm standing 10 toes down. Aelin, Violet, Bryce.
I have a hard time, but I like Arin, I like Aelin, I like Violet. Bryce is fucking awesome too.
She is. She's so badass.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Trying to think of the other books we've read. I'm like blanking. Oh,
Farrah?
Everflame. Farrah. I like Farrah. She doesn't do a whole lot for me. I know you're not. I would probably pick Nesta over Farrah. She's a Nesta hater, guys.
I'm not a Nesta hater, I'm not a Nesta lover. I'll say that. She's just fine. Just fine. I like Farrah a lot. But you know what? It's hard for me when I've read, like, I feel like I read that so long ago that I'm like, I need to reread.
I
But
gotcha.
I do really like her.
Farrah?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a solid FMC. She just doesn't rank top for me.
I want, like, a list to choose from.
We did that with the Fuck, Marry, Kill. So maybe we'll make lists next time if we do this again.
Let's do lists. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in this week. We hope you guys had a blast with us. I'm excited to keep reading this book.
Same.
It's
I'm,
going to
like,
be so
pumped.
good.
We're going to be over halfway next episode.
I know. And it's a long book.
It
So I'm glad
is.
you guys are sticking through with us if you're
Yes.
sticking in with us right now.
If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them. We want to hear your feedback as well on what you're thinking on this
We
one.
desperately need more game ideas.
Yes, please.
So send us those. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Any likes, follows, subscribes, shares, whatever else.
Yeah.
Reviews. That all helps us out. So thank you
Yes.
so much. And we will catch you next week.